Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. We have quite a few things to talk about today, so we're just going to jump right in. Because, to start off, we have a new IDubbbz video called Concern Trolling. It just seems like so... Like, how dense can you be? To where you're going to make a video about concern trolling when that's literally the criticism that's been levied against you. That you guys just keep going like, well, we care about you. You just need to get some help. You just need to... It's just so weird. Hey, Tiff, welcome in. Let's go. Real. I was going to try and read out the name CMO8888. But, so we have this video from IDubbbz. Then we have Content Deputy IDubbbz by Cameron F305. And then we have Internet Affairs IDubbbz by Some Ordinary Gamers. I don't think we're going to be able to finish this one, obviously, but we'll definitely be able to get through these two. I just really want to get the full sense of what's going on. And I think giving a little bit of time to Mutatahar might be smart. Yeah, he's the inward guy, the concern troll guy, the cuck guy. You know, it all works out. Good morning indeed. Welcome in, everybody. Let's just get started because we're going to have a lot to talk about. I can tell there's going to be a lot of pausing.
Thankfully for me, I have the majority of this video already recorded.
Is that really the start of the video?
Now, thankfully for me, I have the majority of this video already recorded. This is just a little addendum. I think an addendum is something that you put at the end, but this is a predendum. I'm throwing in
A person's external genitals, especially a woman. You didn't say pudendum. You said predendum.
a little predendum. Something that I've been struggling with for a long time on YouTube is concern trolling. The thing that I really struggle with is not identifying concern trolling. The difficult part of it is when there are people who have authentic concern out there and the concern trolls are concerned over the same thing. So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm giving in to the concern troll.
If this is the angle he's going to take, this could be more thoughtful than we first assumed. Because the way that sounds is, he's genuinely concerned. If he tries to actually, like, distinguish, like, hey, I understand there's people that are saying this type of stuff, and fuck them, they're bad people. But I genuinely do feel this way, and I'm sorry if it comes across as me concerned trolling, but I am genuinely just concerned. That's definitely an angle to take, but I don't know if he's going to be the one to be able to make that clear, because nothing he says is clear. So... we will see. So right now there are concerned trolls and there are people who actually are concerned, and he is one who is actually concerned. But let's see where this goes.
By addressing, you know, this segment of the population or this segment of my fan base who have genuine concerns. So I don't want to let the trolls inhibit my ability
Oh no, he's talking about trolls talking about him. Oh. He's really just not giving a singular shit about the way that he concerned trolled or levied concerns for others to troll, like, behind. He's literally just going to use it in the context of him. Okay?
To communicate to my fans or people who are confused out there. So I want to talk about Creator Clash. I want to talk about the structure of the business and how it's changed over the years, and just sort of put to rest any of the lies that are being spread out there about Anissa, about me, and about the event. My main incentive for sharing this information is that I have felt extremely handcuffed by Creator Clash these past years because I'm not an expert communicator and I don't know how to
Trust me, we know you're not an expert communicator. Those first two videos, ooh, not very good, I must say.
convey things, not over-communicate, not do all these things that potentially put the event at risk and put other people at risk. And that's kind of why I wanted to step away from this event. It feels like it's inhibiting my ability, like the business side of things, like inhibits my ability to communicate openly and effectively, especially when there's so many people counting on me to do that
Oh, you're
well.
right. We are waiting
So it's
for
a lot
something
of
today.
pressure. And now that
to change
Anissa and
that.
I have stepped away from it, I want to just clear the air because I don't feel that same pressure that I did when I was part of the event. If you look into charity events, they come in so many different shapes and sizes, and there is really no format that is completely obvious for creator boxing plus charity. For the
What an angle to just say, hey, there's all types of different charities. We're doing some kind of charity, even if it doesn't look like it. Okay, like everyone's saying, it's comparatively, like, it is the same as McDonald's having their little donation bucket. It's the same as anywhere saying, hey, this is going to go to charity. Is it actually? We hope so, but I mean, who knows? Some homeless guy might come in and steal the box. That's always an outcome too.
The first Creator Clash, we had the business model of after everyone has been paid for, the expenses of the event, all profits go to charity. That was the business model, and it was successful. Thankfully, it worked out the first year. Now, some people will be critical of one of the costs being parties for Creator Clash 2 and actually Creator Clash 1, because that's where we got the idea from. It was very successful for Creator Clash 1, or the event was successful. We don't know if the party worked to encourage people to promote the event, but that was the idea. You get a bunch of creators to show up to a fucking hotel.
Also, I totally just thought about this. How many people are concern trolling Ian? I feel like nobody's concern trolling him. People are just calling him a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like the things that are like the people that are coming out at him aren't being like, Ian, you should have tried harder. We feel, what would we even be concerned about? His CTE? Like, genuinely, what are we? I just realized how little this made any sense. Like, what? People are like, the criticisms that are being levied against him have nothing to do with being concerned about his well-being or with how it's all about how he failed, how he didn't do a good job.
The night before their fight, and they're going to post about it on social media.
Yeah, it's literally just regular trolling.
And the internet will be abuzz. And the event was successful, so we thought that strategy of having, a little hubbub, a little hullabaloo before the event.
Because is he saying the concern is for the charity? His marriage, his home life. No, because that's what I'm saying. Is the concern meant to be the concern is for the charity, but nobody's actually concerned about the charity. They just want to shit on Ian. Because I don't think anyone's going oh no, this charity isn't going to get money. People are going, bro, why did you say that you're doing a charity event and then you're clearly not? No one's going, oh no. Obviously it sucks. If it is true that less money is going to charities than people first thought, that is bad. But I don't think anybody is falling on their knees going what are we going to do? How are we going to stop this?
And after the event was a good idea.
But yeah, towards him is complete just trolling. No, there's no concern coming towards him, at least.
So we ran with that strategy again, hoping that creators will post about it and be excited about it and buzz will be generated. But it didn't happen. Or maybe it did happen, but it just didn't sell tickets.
How does this make any sense? Wait.
Event and after the event, a little hubbub, a little hullabaloo before the event and after the event was a good idea.
How long before the event?
We ran with that strategy again, hoping that creators will post about it and be excited about it and buzz will be generated. But it didn't happen. Or maybe it did happen, but it just didn't sell tickets.
First off, how long before the actual event were you trying to get other creators to promote the event? Because if you were just doing it a few months before and you didn't specifically say, hey, we're going to give you free tickets, but we want to make sure that you guys are posting about it so that we can get more word out about it. If you literally just gave them free tickets and were like, yeah, we're trying to get more people coming to the event, then that doesn't really mean a whole lot. What you should have done is spent that money on actual advertising material. not just hoping that other people's fans will like bleed in or something.
Tickets. I would cross that off my list as a learning experience of, well, if you do this strategy, you either got to force people to post about it or
No, literally, yeah. He was concerned trolling for like from like the content cop video, the content deputy. Those are concerned trolling. He's been getting just trolled because of how shit, like, what a piece of shit the content or creator, god damn it, creator clash was. But now he's saying that he's the one getting concerned trolled because people care about charity, I guess.
you have to fucking I don't know, not do it. You gotta make sure that people are slapping each other during the weigh-in. That's probably what I'd change it to, because it's cheaper, you know? It's a lot cheaper if people slap each other during the weigh-in. Just wasn't about that. I was just like, I don't want this fake drama shit. For the second creator clash, we used the same business model. This time we increased the budget, we had more fighters, we had a bigger arena, and more expenses in general. As a result of that, there were a lot more costs.
People aren't saying you to, like, aren't asking you to create conflict for the fight. People are saying that you should, like, try and hype it up in some way. Don't have the fighters, like, create fake beef, but tell them, like, hey, rib each other. Be like, hey, you're a fucking, like, oh, this guy thinks he's better than me, man. We're going to see what happens, you know, tonight. Or, you know, just something like that. It doesn't need to be anything serious. But the reason that that brings, like, more attention to the fight isn't because it's drama. It's because you know it's actually going to be an interesting fight at that point. You're not just going to go and watch a sparring match between two people. Like, it adds that, like, it adds more hype because of that. Because there's actually going to be two people with a conflict, resolving that conflict through violence. But through mediated violence that we all pay to enjoy.
And our ticket sales did not make up those costs. It seemed very obvious that this was not the way to run the charity boxing event. We told our business partners, we are not going to do this event again unless it can be promised to us that there was a way to guarantee money for charity. And the business model that was presented to us was what we're enacting, or what we did enact.
So this is completely skipping over, like, he glossed over it when he brought up the creators, in the fact that he never brought up that there was a gala. He just said that there were things that we did before and after the event in hopes to promote the event. Doing stuff after the event doesn't promote the event in any way, so that's a stupid point. But, like, he completely glossed over the fact that they did, like, an expensive gala, and then while they were there, knew that they weren't going to make any money from the event, or not that they weren't going to make any money, that no money was going to be donated from the event. Even worse, they made their money, presumably.
Act this year with Creator Clash 3, and that is...
And I mean, if they didn't make any money, I would like to know how much came out of their pocket to pay for the venue, to pay for any other, like, you know what I mean? Because if there was no profit that could be donated, then what was the actual, like, revenue, and what was the costs? What was that split? That would be interesting. But I saw someone point out they're not, like, an actual nonprofit. They're not, like, scheduled or classified as a nonprofit, so there's, like, their legal, like, documents and stuff aren't public. I don't know if that's true. I could be completely wrong. That's just something I read on the Reddit. I guess I could check Creator Clash.
The for-profit side of the business is unincorporated with the charity aspect. So the charity partner is its own fundraiser that we sort of, like, push people to, you know, before, during, and after the event. I think where some of the confusion is that many people don't understand how charity events operate, because, to be honest, they're all very different. And with something...
No, yeah, I don't think they're an actual, like, 501c3 or whatever it's called. It doesn't say it on the website, and I feel like most websites, when they are, will say it at the bottom.
Thing like a charity boxing event, there's a lot of money that you have to front to put it on in the first place. And if you have an invest...
I need to check out the comments. Here, I'll give a little taste real quick, and we'll look at more at the end. Guys, is Anissa's husband okay? You are actually so weird. Your content cop was 100% of concern trolling. Real shit. It has to be a fetish at this point, right? I guess these are all fake comments, too. Fake dislikes, fake comments. None of it's real. Don't believe the hype.
investor, you're able to do that.
Remember, guys, the add-on that shows me dislikes is actually wrong on every single video, and actually it heightens the dislikes way beyond the likes, even though that's not true on any other video that I watch.
An investor is going to want money, they're going to want profit, but that at least gives you the initial funds to put on the event. There are other charity initiatives and events that allow people to spend money for a ticket and immediately get a product, and also their money goes to charity. Those are usually big fucking conglomerates, giant companies that can afford that cost because they're selling you other things. Some people have an idea of charity events as being like a strictly altruistic thing where everyone is just sacrificing their time and energy and money for the charity to put on a boxing event.
So is charity not meant to be altruistic? Is it meant to benefit you either monetarily or socially by saying that you did a charity? Is that what you're saying?
Event costs a lot of money, and even in other examples like GDQ, Games Done Quick, is a charity event, but they're not like a charity themselves. You know, they run a business and they partner with a charity and they fundraise for the charity. They send people to the charity, and thankfully they have, you know, multiple ways of being paid and paying the people who are running the show. That might be...
It got me sick just listening to this. My God, sorry. I'm just thinking, like, why is he talking about other, like, actual nonprofits or actual charity, like, events and stuff? Talk about yours. Stop just pointing to all these other ones. So here's a bunch of companies that have made money and have actually done stuff as a charity, but they're bigger than us. I'm just like a millionaire YouTuber. I don't know if he's a millionaire. That's just what I would assume, having 7 million subscribers and, you know, hundreds of millions of views on his channel. But maybe he's been very bad with his money too. So
through payment from the charity, that might be through their own like Twitch stream or merchandise. I just know that for a charity boxing event in the form of Creator Clash, there aren't too many ways to recoup your money other than ticket sales. And that was obviously the biggest challenge of the previous two events. When it does well, and that was Clash, there aren't too many ways to recoup your money other than ticket sales.
Merch? You could just, I mean, you'd have to upsell the merch where the pricing is going to be like outrageous to try and recoup some money, but just sell some merch, or do like a raffle where it's like, enter this raffle for $5 or something. This part isn't going to charity, but this is an extra raffle just for the event where people can put in an amount of money and then they win a certain thing at the end or something. Like, there are other ways that you could make money. What are you talking about? Like, and in ways where you're going, this isn't meant to be part of the charity. This is just meant to make sure that the event, like, you know, is able to, like, pay for costs. But pulling it directly from, saying you're going to use money directly from the tickets or directly the sponsors are going to pay for it, like, you need to make sure that there's that clarification, or else people are going to be, like, misunderstanding where their money is going. And the fact that people can still buy pay-per-view tickets before they even read or see that that money isn't going to charity. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And that was obviously the biggest challenge of the previous two events. When it does well, awesome.
Ah, well, welcome in. Anybody else that came from Alex's video, thank you so much for coming in, and let's keep watching.
But when it doesn't, it's a huge problem. It remains to be seen whether the for-profit business side of the event will be successful. But the main controversy, I would say, is that it was revealed with the change of ownership that Anissa and I, because we're 1/3 ownership of Creator Clash, the business, that we were getting 34% of the profit share. We weren't anticipating this event doing well. Like, we wanted to do well.
So why even take 34%?
Enough to pay back the investors, of course. So that's one of the reasons that we were, you know, okay with the profit share thing. But another part of it as well is that the contract wasn't structured in a way that the profit share could just directly go to charity. It was told to us, like, you could just donate your portion of the profit share to.
I would like to hear a lawyer talk about this, because what do you mean that in the contract you couldn't have like a carve out for charity, like for donation, for like a percentage going to donation? I'm not a lawyer. I don't work in legal, but that just seems like there had to have been a way to like, even if you couldn't, like, what, I feel like there's a way to create a fund or something to where you could then at the end give that to charity. Why would the money have to go to you? Have to go directly to your pocket and then you just donate it? Because that almost again seems like you trying to benefit from the good graces of giving away a bunch of money to charity.
To charity after the event. So we were like, okay, fine. Now I know some people will find it hard to believe that Anissa and I were just going to give our portion of the profit share to charity.
Yes, I do find that very hard to believe. Oh my God, my mouse.
Nothing I could really say to, I think, convince them otherwise.
Yes, I don't think there really is. Unless you showed us, like, texts, communications through emails, some kind of, like, something that shows us that you talking to somebody, hey, we're also going to be getting this 34% that we plan on donating across, you know, at the end. Or you could show us where your legal team had told you that that was the smartest way to do that. I'm genuinely so confused.
It was up to our discretion at the end of the day, and if you don't believe us, I can't say anything that'll change your mind. I guess my only appeal is that year one, we made a bunch of money for charity, and I just got the fighters pay like everyone else. In year two of the event, we definitely got nothing. So yeah, having said all of this, I know that there's probably a lot of you out there who honestly don't care, and you're just like, you want to see boxing or you just want to see regular videos. I get that. For my soul, I needed to communicate it. So yeah, that's a big relief for me.
Didn't communicate anything, but okay.
I mean, I'm very happy that, you know, this year money is being raised for charity, and I'm glad to know that it's already more successful than year two. Mission accomplished.
It's doing better than year two by, oh my God, by no action taken by you. Nothing done by you has raised any money. Hassan barely raised any money. All he did was watch Ethan's video, and basically people were donating because they wanted to shit on Ethan. That's the way it at least seems. Like, come on. Oh my God.
Accomplished as far as I'm concerned.
I responded to his personal attack with a joke, and then he hit me with a concern troll.
From the right, there's a lot of concern trolling around small businesses.
This is the most boring kind of concern trolling.
Get Snoop Dogg and Tupac the concern troll.
Concern trolling. You need to address this issue, man, because you are offending the trans community. Shut up.
That is such poor concern trolling.
Lindsey Graham did a lot of concern trolling about this.
His concern trolling is empirically wrong.
Oh, dude, this is like the hardest concern trolling I've ever heard in my entire life, dude.
You don't answer to the concern trolls.
Concern trolling about homeless people.
This guy's an example of a concern troll.
Concern trolling about...
I'm sorry, but everybody that brings up concern trolling, I want to, in a video game, not reality, and completely in a hypothetical situation created in my mind, in a dream that I once had, I want to assault every single one of them. I want to physically hurt every single one of them because it's just so stupid. What do I need to say to prove a point to you? I understand concern trolling is real, but to always call it out is just so stupid. And looking at all these people, I'm like, I can tell that you're one of the concern trolls. You're one of those people that's just like, oh no, they're gonna kill America. Look, America's on a degradation. Everything's falling apart. Literally all the same shit.
Fairness.
They sit on the sidelines and they concern troll.
It's basically concern trolling.
But a lot of people do concern troll.
Concern trolling.
As concern trolling.
Concern trolls.
Concern troll.
Concern trolling.
Concern trolling.
Concern trolling.
Quintessential concern troll.
That was some expert concern trolling.
Yes.
Why are you walking back in? Did you just go take a shit? What was... He let all the disgusting smell out of the restroom. Where is he coming from? He was already in the video. Oh, it's because he said he added this bit in. Okay, never mind.
I've been working on
He should have just cut it out.
my laugh lately. I'm trying to get it to a level where it's contagious. I haven't figured it out. I'll let you guys know when I figure it out. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of IDubbbz Complains. In the last couple of videos, I got a lot of comments. Now I don't have time to read all 150,000 comments, but I also don't want to let down my audience, you know? I want them to know that I hear you. I hear your concerns and I'm listening. I've put all 150,000 comments into the AI and I told it to condense it down in...
I know, I just qualified for my own button. Let's hope I don't get a ban. I don't actually wish harm upon these people. It's just, when I hear people say stuff like that, it really is just like, what do we have to do to get it through to your head? Do I have to hold you against the ground and go like, listen to me, listen to me? That's assault. Remember, threatening people is a form of assault. I did say physical though.
Into a singular comment that is representative of the whole. My hope is that the one comment will perfectly represent a small fragment of everyone in the audience, so everyone is equally happy.
What?
Okay, hold on a sec. So I'm kind of lost.
Is he really? He's really saying, I'm gonna use one comment to try and explain how everyone feels? Was that a joke or?
On again? But hey, it's cool to see a content cop after all these years. Still, I gotta say, something feels different, man. Did we lose the plot somewhere? I miss the old days, but whatever. Keep doing you, I guess. Anyway, peace out. I'm gonna go rewatch some Filthy Frank now. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a big fan of the one comment because I feel like it perfectly encapsulates a comment from like a normie viewer who maybe watched you 5 years ago, but you know.
I'd like to go back to that video and look at all the comments of people going like, I haven't watched in years, but you seem like you're like going insane right now. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh, I haven't watched this in so long, but there are so many comments saying that too, so, okay.
They don't keep up with the drama or anything. When I first started my research on concern trolling, I was trying to find scholars on the topic. I know it hasn't been around for that long, but I'm like, surely there's someone who is well versed in the art of the troll.
He's mastered that art of trolling.
To my surprise, the scholar on this topic is Anita Sarkeesian. Yeah, it's been almost a decade since like the Gamergate time, and go figure, the white guy 8 years later is like, I think Anita Sarkeesian was kind of onto something. There's a lot of assholes on the internet, and they're kind of misogynistic too, I think. It's crazy what a little CTE or the love of a woman will do to you.
Unfortunately, that's not the only species of concern troll out there.
The most obvious definition.
We don't think the CTE made you more progressive. We just think the CTE, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it wasn't CTE. Maybe you're right. Maybe you were just always that dumb from the fact that you couldn't understand that Gamergate had some validity in the statements made, but then was used to, like, you know, just cause outrage. Like, were there actual issues that could be talked, and are there still issues that could be talked about in gaming? Yes. But yes, we don't need some white guy to tell us that. You're right.
Definition for concern trolling is when someone is pretending to be concerned about a particular subject or cause, when in reality, they don't give a fuck.
Good lord, I hate the whole Anissa is a succubus thing, but holy crap, I think she might be just a complete shell of a person now. See, I don't really, I think Ela said it on one of the episodes, on one of the earlier, I think this was probably last year, where when they first started talking about issues that they were having, and they were saying that, or I guess it wasn't last year, it was probably the beginning of this year, but Ela had said, don't blame Anissa for Ian. Ian can be a piece of shit and Anissa can be a piece of shit. Like, they can both kind of be true at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. One doesn't need to be controlling the other one. They can, you know, birds of a feather flock together after all.
They're just doing it to either get attention, start a fight, derail a conversation. To be honest, it's very effective. Because back in the day, you could identify someone trolling pretty easily, and you can kind of scroll past it. They'd have a name like Shit is Fuckus, and they would say fake and gay. But nowadays it feels like the average troll is going to give you a paragraph or two, and you will not be able to identify straight away if someone is fucking with you or not. Do they hate me? Are they making a point here? Should I rethink my behavior? What the fuck? It seems like they'll oftentimes give you their fan resume to like prove that they're not just some random hater, right? They're not a troll or a hater. They're a fan who's been supporting you since the Kickstarter crap era. They've been supporting you since you made a NFT of your ball sack. I've been subscribed since the Overgrowth Let's Plays. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Overgrowth. Just want to say that this video...
I have to say that is pretty funny. That was probably the first funny joke that Ian's made.
Made a NFT of your ball sack. I've been subscribed since the Overgrowth Let's Plays. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Overgrowth. Just...
That's probably the best joke he's made in all of these videos. This is also a pretty good frame, I must say.
Want to say that this video really missed the mark. Hope that you can do better.
You just gonna sit there?
Hope that you can do better is such a great thing to say. It's like, you're a piece of shit. Part of the reason I want...
Wait, okay, my cat's like in the way right now, so I was kind of like, did he really just... Bro, did you really just say that? Did you really just say that when like the whole fucking content... Like, bro, you were literally telling Ethan, get help. Get help. You need to... I don't think that you're getting enough help. Get some help. What the fuck?
That this video really missed the mark. Hope that you can do better. Hope that you can do better is such a great thing to say. It's like, you're a piece of shit. Part of the reason I want to share this is because I know there are a lot of creators out there who have to deal with this on a regular basis. They have to be the ones to differentiate between authentic and inauthentic. And a lot of the time you just gotta fucking flip a coin or just ignore it.
Now my cat's in the way, he doesn't want to move. What's up? Why are you trying to bite me? What's the matter? You got boogers in your eyes. Give me these. Got some goop. Is that what you needed help with? Sorry, I need to be a cat dad real quick. What's the matter?
It outright, and it's really easy to say, like, I would handle that really well because my policy is to not give a shit about any of it. But obviously, if you do want to have some sort of relationship with your audience or the internet in general, you do have to give some percentage of attention to what's being said online. That's going to be different for everyone. Now, some people might be worried that I'm giving new strategies to all the trolls out there. But don't worry, they already know these strategies. This is kind of like I think this is in all of us, right? Like, if you want some attention, you're gonna figure out a way to get the attention. If you wanna fuck with people, you'll figure out how to fuck with people. This isn't like some secret sauce, really. There's a few different strategies of dealing with concerned trolls. You can obviously, you know, try to look into their post history, and if they don't come across as credible, if all their...
Dude, oh my god. Going scrub their post history. Oh, don't trust Twitter users. Scrub through their post history so you can see if they're actually legitimate or not. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Oh my god, why don't you just contend with the criticism made? Literally, if somebody is making criticism on you, like, explain why it's dumb. Don't just go, well, they're a bad source. They're an untrustworthy source, so I don't need to listen to this. That doesn't make any sense.
Post history is wiped, then you can just say, I'm gonna err on the side of you're trolling me. When I listen to Tim Pool, he has like a little bit of a theory on, you know, the left versus right and who is doing more.
You listen to Tim Pool? We figured it out. We figured out where he lost the plot.
Say, I'm gonna err on the side of you're trolling me. When I listen to Tim Pool,
not like when I have listened to him in the, like, I think he actually watches Tim Pool. This explains so much. He just needs a beanie to hide the dents in his head. It's the same thing.
Well, he has like a little bit of a theory on, you know, the left versus right and who is doing more concern trolling.
The right has their concern trolls, but it's rare. It rarely happens. On the left, it's endless because people like Patton Oswalt don't care about principle.
Now, I don't fully buy into what Tim Pool is selling here. You can kind of look at the political spectrum as like a spectrum of concern, and people on the left seem to be generally more concerned than people on the right. You can say that people on the right are mostly concerned about themselves. That might be like a fair assessment. If you're somewhere over here where Tim Pool's at, all you gotta do to concern troll him is take one step to the left. That's it. I think concern trolling is in the eye of the beholder. With this example, you have Tim Pool thinking that Patton Oswalt is being concern trolled by his audience, or a portion, maybe like a small segment of people.
This is what happens when you fall for this stuff. Patton Oswalt falls for it. He is a weak man.
But Patton Oswalt doesn't feel that way. You know, he sees it as authentic concern, which is why he addresses it in this Instagram post. By the way, the concern is basically just people are uncomfortable with his association with...
And bro, this is a dumb point because like you said in the beginning, there are people that are actually concerned and there are people that are just gonna concern troll. So you talking about what the actual concerns and criticisms are is to validate those who are actually concerned. But when all you do is shoot down and like shit on those criticisms, you're ostracizing the people that have genuine concerns. Like, oh my God.
Dave Chappelle.
Maybe I'm reading too far ahead. That seems like the tone he's taking with this.
Because Dave Chappelle did some transphobic or said some transphobic shit. But Tim Pool has such a fucking low emotional IQ that he doesn't realize it isn't a big deal to listen to what other people are saying and like adjust your behavior.
What the fuck is the point of making this video then? So is he saying that... What the fuck is happening? Is he saying that this isn't actual concern trolling, but what he's experiencing is concern trolling? In the same way that what Ethan is experiencing isn't bigotry, but as soon as it happens to Frogan, it's, you know, it is? Like, come on.
It's all up to our own fucking discretion, right? Like, if you aren't to the point, Tim, where, you know, you don't want to apologize for fucking anything, which, by the way, it seems like that's a theme on your...
What's something you've apologized for, Ian? What are some things that we've apologized for? What's something that you what about that thing that Hassan didn't let you apologize for? The fact that you were about to apologize for the fucking swastika sword, and you were like, I was the one who picked it out, it wasn't. And then Hassan goes, if you fucking apologize for that, you're gonna get kicked out right now. I'm sorry, I'm losing it now. Every time I watch IDubbbz now, I'm like losing my mind. I used to be a fan. I really did. I was watching during the overgrowth days. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Your podcast is basically saying, like, I'm not a problem. But acting like that's the way the rest of the world needs to operate, it's like, I think Patton Oswalt...
I literally don't see a reason to have brought Tim up at all, because he's trying to bring up this reference to Patton Oswalt, saying that Patton Oswalt has the right to validate the concerns of people, even though Tim sees it as concern trolling, which would be someone telling Ian to actually, you know, contend with the valid criticisms in the comments and not make a video just pointing out what concern trolling is. This feels like such a point against him. I'm so confused by this.
Oswalt is doing just fine operating the way he's operating.
Wallow in it. Okay, Patton Oswalt? Never tell an offensive joke again. Never cross the line again. Good luck trying to figure out where that line is. Good luck. You won't find it. You give in to the concern trolls and you will never work again.
It's so fucking funny, too, because Patton Oswalt has been doing comedy since Tim Pool was in fucking diapers. What the fuck are we talking about? Can we please, like, I don't know. It feels like people like Tim Pool love to appeal to, like, authority all the time. In this scenario, can we please appeal to authority or acknowledge that this guy has tremendous authority over you in the world of comedy?
Unless you think comedy is saying, like, I went to a Jewish bakery the other day. They had bagels. Really good, really impressed with it. That's the comedy you're headed for. That's the joke South Park made, and even South Park has started pulling its punches. Let me tell you about the real world, my friends.
Has South Park started pulling its punches?
Get woke, go.
People just feel that way because they started coming for conservatism a bit. It's like they've always kind of been in the middle. Remember when they showed Muhammad?
Broke.
One of the reasons that I'm bringing this up is because after the content cop, I noticed a huge influx of concern trolls. They're trying to impact.
The whole thing is, concern trolling only exists if there's valid concerns to be made, like valid concerns to have. Like, a concern troll is someone who is leveraging their actual, like leveraging a concern that other people have to troll you. To keep coming for you and go, bro, what is the matter with you right now? You just bit the shit out of me. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Now you don't want to bite? You just didn't want me to pick you up, huh? Let's throw him in a room, one sec. He's gonna go in here. Bit me. Little shit. But he's fine. Owning a nuke not starting to sound so dumb, you're right. Yeah, honestly, I feel like I'm just spouting gibberish now because it's trying to make sense of the shit that he's saying.
Things.
No, yeah, I think that he was probably a little riled up because I was also getting rowdy. Like, I think that I might not have had my, had been giving my cat the best energy. But I put him in a different room so I can, get more angry. Get 10 times as angry.
In the real world, they're trying to, you know, make people crash out, as I was kind of indicating in my video. But I will say, one of the concern trolls was super fucking obvious to me. They came into the Discord. I'll read you what they put so you can kind of get a vibe for what a concerned troll might sound like. Now, this comment is in reference to me saying that I think he needs a good ass whooping. What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs. They say, just being for real, this line in the video was pretty strange. Red flag number 1. At worst, it's a call for physical assault. At best, it's very toxic masculinity-esque. It just comes across as parody, right? This was literally no one's concern ever. He needs a good fucking ass whooping is what he needs.
What did you, it was just a little joke then? It was a little jokey joke? Cool. Then why even bring up this comment? That was just fucking stupid. Do you think I was actually gonna beat your ass, Ethan? Are you actually afraid of me, IDubbbz, the guy who's trained in boxing? I've lost both of my matches. You have nothing to fear.
Either way, it doesn't seem to align with Ian's mentality towards being—
Are we sure there's an episode today? They do have this up. They have this up, and until this goes away, I'm assuming they're going live. They haven't posted any stories or anything saying that they're not going live, so we're got our fingers crossed.
More progressive and against harassment. You see what I mean? It's trying to like insert like a little seed of doubt. Whoa, you might have been irresponsible here. You might need to take accountability for what you've put out on the internet.
I mean, I literally just said that I wanted to, like, in Minecraft, hurt a bunch of people. Nobody's saying that you can't say edgy things, that you can't make little jokes, that you can't do... Nobody's saying that. What they're saying is, a literal licensed therapist told you that you should probably be caring more about Ethan as a person because it sounds like he's going through a lot. When you literally were trying to frame it in a way to make Ethan look like a bad guy. And then instead of taking that message from the therapist, you decide to make a stupid joke about kicking Ethan's ass. Like, was that person maybe a little bit, that person was maybe 15 years old going, why are you being so toxically masculine? Why are you doing this? Were they maybe a 13-year-old? It's possible. Is the point still valid? Yes. Because again, concern trolling only exists when there are actual concerns.
Never mind the point that you were making in the video. I think you need to repent for your call to violence. I don't think any creator should make that kind of statement unless they have a very good reason to do so, morally speaking. Because you never know what one of your fans might do. It's quite dangerous. I mean, to someone who hasn't been through the ringer of concern trolling, I'm sure this could, like, upset or confuse someone, but this is just fucking drivel. I honest to God just think his vid and the whole
You know what's so funny? This comment is just such a nothing, but you can tell this one actually hurt his feelings, and that's why he picked this one out. Because he's like, oh, why are they being so fucking stupid? It's just so, ugh. It actually got to him a little bit.
Intention would have been better without that in it. I don't see why he said that. Ugh. Of course, this is a new user to our Discord, so no post history. So we gotta get creative.
Dude, explain why that's a bad point. Stop just going fucking, stop just going, well, what have they said in the past? Well, what have they said in the past? You're literally the guy that said N-word, F-word. Said N-slur, F-slur. That ripped a fucking Quran in half. You're the guy that, like, come on, bro. Are we really gonna be like, what have they said? Let's look at their post history. Is this true? Because Ian, your whole history is trolling. Is this a genuine, like, new perspective that you hold? Is this a genuine new life that you're living? Or are you also just doing a new grift, a new troll, a new way to try and, like, punch back at these people? Like, come on, man.
If you reverse search the username and you find that they have a Twitter, their Twitter is suspended. The Blue Sky account, though, has tweets like, so how long until Destiny gets banned from this app? Hashtag DGG, hashtag Dalaban, hashtag Destiny. Tankies are already terrified of arriving Dalaban forces. Following back all liberals, hashtag DGG. Now, the reason that these posts are relevant is because Destiny is quite famous for saying very unhinged, offensive shit, and he doesn't really seem to care that much about it.
Don't pretend like you care about mental health or any of that cringe shit.
Sorry, I keep...
Just be based. Tell people to kill themselves. Make fun of people who are on SSRIs. Make fun of people who have depression or anxiety or GD. Just do that. Just embrace the I can't say the words on stream anymore. All the slurs and everything you used to. Just do that. Go full in on it.
Okay, so we know Destiny's a piece of shit, but I don't even need to see the context to know what he's talking about here. Like, I feel like it's so clear. Let's watch it again. So what Ian's saying...
Quite famous for saying very unhinged, offensive shit, and he doesn't really seem to care that much about it.
Don't pretend like you care about mental health or any of that cringe shit. Just be based. Tell people to kill themselves. Make fun of people who are on SSRIs. Make fun of people who have depression or anxiety or GD. Just do that. Just embrace the I can't say the words on stream anymore. All the slurs and everything you used to. Just do that. Go full in on it.
So this is him watching IDubbbz video. This is clearly him showing, stop concern trolling and just say the shit that you want to say. These are the things that you feel. These are the ways that you're acting. It's literally the same point that IDubbbz is trying to make. Stop concern trolling. If you're going to be like critical, be critical. If you're going to be aggressive, be aggressive. Don't pussyfoot behind, like, you know, don't pussyfoot around it. Don't hide behind all these little, I'm so sorry, I'm so scared for you. I hope that you're doing all right, but I could never know. Like, why even add this clip in? I don't even need to see the context to understand that's what he's talking about. Like, bro.
I can't say the words on stream anymore. All the slurs and everything you used to. Just do that. Go full in on it.
Now I'm gonna go out.
Literally telling IDubbbz, yeah, go back to saying in slur, F slur, if that's the way you want to do it. Don't come with this bullshit.
On a limb here and say that I don't think this user is actually worried about the language I'm using. I don't think that they're concerned about me being toxic masculinity-esque.
Make fun of people who are on SSRIs.
And I kind of don't think that they're worried about a call to violence.
I don't think Destiny's masculine at all, even toxically. If we're gonna say he's toxically masculine, I mean, He's not masculine at all.
SSRIs.
And I kind of don't think that they're worried about a call to violence. I actually think that they wouldn't mind me doing a call to violence.
Tell people to kill themselves.
They actually...
Again, why are you cutting this out, especially when it's him reacting to a video of you, trying to use this as a reference? Destiny has said crazy shit. That's why I don't watch Destiny anymore. That's the whole thing, is like, yeah, once you see Destiny does say some crazy shit sometimes, yeah, probably don't watch him. But does that make any of the points that are being made invalid? Actually point to why the criticism is invalid instead of just going, look at this other guy. Stop with the whataboutisms.
Actually might even be encouraged by a call to violence, if I had to guess, you know. I can only speculate based on hashtag Dalaban, which is just some racist Twitter group. Ultimately, concern trolling is just saying something.
It's a racist Twitter group.
Just some race.
Community dedicated to documenting the anti-Semitism of Turkish colonizer Hassan Piker and the Sultan of the Twitch Empire, Dan Clancy. Do you have any evidence of them being racist on here? Because it's clearly a Destiny subreddit, but it also comes... I'm pretty sure the term Dalaban comes from Hassan, I feel like. Because Hassan would always make up these dumb fucking names, calling them, different... when he would call Destiny fucking Voldemort and say all this different shit. I'm pretty sure that's where this term came from, or at least that's where I heard someone using this term first, was from Hassan. But then, yeah, Dazbala, who gives a shit? What about the fact that Hassan actually supports the real Hezbollah and the Houthis and fucking Hamas?
This Twitter group ultimately concerned.
And again, show some evidence of them being racist, or else I don't care. Can I believe that they were racist? Yeah, I totally 100% believe that they were saying racist stuff on there. I do. But just pointing it out and saying that it's racist doesn't prove shit to me.
Trolling is just saying something in bad faith. It's very similar to tone policing or sea lioning. But I didn't really want to talk about those because those feel different to me for some reason. Specifically sea lioning. That shit isn't even intuitive. You know, I've looked it up, I think 3 times.
I can tell you something right now. This entire video is written on a script. And the way that I know it's written on a script is because me and Ian have the same tell. It's like a game show host. Fuck, I gotta pull up my other video. Me and Ian have the same tell when we're reading off of a script. Oh, look at that. Blinking one eye at a time. But I start squinting one eye.
You can say the same thing about the internet or Twitter.
It's not just intellectually lazy, it's morally evasive. I start squinting my eyes. He does the same thing. God damn it, I really just did that. 1 second.
Taliban, which is...
I really just closed out a window, but we have the same tell, I'm telling you. This is a full script. He isn't speaking any of it from the heart. Every single word, every single joke, every single thing that he says is written down. God damn it. My mouse is completely fucked. I need to get a new mouse. It double clicks.
Is just some racist Twitter group. Ultimately, concern trolling is just saying something in bad faith. It's very similar to tone policing or sea lioning. But I didn't really want to talk about those because those feel different to me for some reason. Specifically sea lioning. That shit isn't even intuitive. You know, I've looked it up I think 3 times now and I still don't fucking... God damn it, my mouse! I need to just use the space bar. I need to get used to that. What is this little comic he pulled up? I don't mind most marine mammals, but sea lions, I could do without sea lions. Don't say that out loud. Pardon me, I couldn't help but overhear. Now you've done it. I would like to have a civil conversation about your statement. Would you mind showing me evidence of any negative thing any sea lion has ever done to you? Go away. There's no need to raise your voice. I'm right here. You're in my house. And he says something else. Told you, dude, sea lions. I have been unfailingly polite, and you two have been nothing but rude. Sea lioning is a type of trolling or harassment that consists of pursuing people with relentless requests for evidence. Often, this is the dumbest fucking thing ever. Relentless requests for evidence, often
tangential, or previously addressed, while maintaining a pretense of civility and sincerity, and feigning ignorance of the subject matter. This is what Hassan's going to start calling everybody. Anytime anyone calls him calls him out for not showing evidence or not sourcing things or not actually being credible, he's just going to call them a sea lion. How do you not understand what this means? This is pretty clear. Like, I feel like this is what Hassan says about everybody. Why are you just asking? I'm not here to do your research for you. Shit like that. Go look it up. Show me the proof. But you should have proof if you're going to make actual statements.
I get it. I just can't recall it easily. So in my mind, that means it's stupid. It's not working.
I mean, yeah, that does seem like a stupid, like... What I really don't understand what the point of making this video was. It almost seems like he wanted to make a video just on the idea of concern trolling, but then tried to like tie it into his own life and his own content, and it makes absolutely no sense when he does that.
I can't bust it out in the middle of a heated argument and say, you're sea lining me. See, it's because you grew whiskers in the middle of this debate. That means you're sea lining.
No, yeah, it's a weak name because it needs to... It requires you to know about that comic, I think, which is even weirder. Because if it existed before that comic, it makes no sense.
Me. You started flapping your arms and going, oh. Therefore, you are sea lining. I mean, there you go. It feels like two people getting into a shouting match is more an accurate descriptor of sea lining than whatever the fuck it is. I think the least problematic part of being a concern troll...
Well, I think that's the idea, is it's called sea lioning because they're just barking. They don't have any actual like point in asking you for evidence. It's just meant to try and shut you up, is the idea of it. But I don't think that, like you're saying, I don't think that it's necessarily as valid. But also, what was the point of bringing it up at all then? This is your video after all.
Is them taking a moderate position, potentially? Because at that point, you're just being a party pooper. Or like a killjoy, a buzzkill. Like, we're familiar with these types of people. They're just constantly reeling people in because they're worried that they're using, like, too crazy a rhetoric or they're getting a little too excited, right? And I think we all could use people in our lives to, like, reel us in a bit. The aspect of concern trolling that bothers me the most is the role-playing aspect. There isn't really a lot of incentive to not be anonymous online. There are some people out there who've made the unconscious choice to be like, my online profile is just an extension of who I am.
Someone needs to tell Ian to turn his camera from autofocus to manual focus because it keeps like going in and out of focus for no reason. He's sat in one spot. It's unnecessary.
Am in the real world. And then there are all the people who consciously decide
the heavy bag is more in focus than he is.
To stay anonymous. Now, for some of these people, it's just like, I want to be safe and I really don't want to take that plunge. Fair enough. But then there are the people who are like, not only am I not going to be myself, I'm going to be someone else. You know, I'm going to be someone else so that I could fuck with this community of people. Now, every time I see these characters, the image that pops in my mind is not like, oh, like you're a clever, smart guy who has infiltrated the opposing faction. You're like the spy in Team Fortress 2. It's like, no, that is a fantasy. What you actually are is you're like Steven Crowder in a wig at a women's only event, thinking that they're making some kind of grand point.
Hi, I'm Stephanie with all the frequencies of feminism, and I am here at the Women's March in Austin.
We quickly found out that nobody questions, criticizes, nor runs security background checks on trannies.
Hands up our pussies!
The reason someone like Steven Crowder gets into this position is not because of his cunning. It's because people are like, oh, you're a fucking weirdo freak. I'm staying, 20 feet away from you at all times. Or I'm going to be a very non-judgmental person, and I'm not going to ask any questions about whatever you got going on here.
We could get away with anything. Go anywhere, act any way we wanted, and we were really able to learn what today's progressive issues are all about.
And I guess in this case, it's a massive own. He's proven that people are tolerant of him. Having said that, I think...
What was the point of bringing that up? Just to say that he was cosplaying, like what? He didn't even like tie that back into what he said before. That should have tied back in. I was expecting him to like.
We can end this video on a
I was really expecting him to tie that back into the point he made before, because that seems like very loosely related. That it's just it's just a person dressing up. Because he wasn't concern trolling, because the concern trolling would be coming from if he was drawing, like, he was just trolling, because the concern doesn't come to the people he's talking to, it would come to the afterwards using the skit to rile up the fan base or whatever.
Positive note. I'm proposing that fucking with people might be a way for some of these concern trolls to indulge in things and lifestyles that they...
If he really is just trying to reference right-wing commentators to draw parallels between Ethan and the fan bases and everything, he has done the worst job at that. He has done an awful job at doing that. Like, this was a terrible video. The points he had made don't make any sense. But if that was genuinely the goal, he did not accomplish that at all. Because it seems like he's talking about them so, like, disconnectedly. Like they have nothing to do with each other.
They never thought were possible because they're so opposed to them. So by pretending to be the very thing that you hate, you might actually gain some sympathy, or you might be like, oh, actually, the people in this community I kind of fuck with. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of IDubbbz Complains. I hope you enjoyed watching. I will put a Patreon link down below. I'm still cooking on what needs to be uploaded there.
Support me on Patreon while I figure out what I'm going to post. Great stuff, man. Remember to follow me. Join my membership for $2 a month, and you can get access to certain streams that won't go up to normal viewers. That is actually true. Unlike him, I've actually thought about the content strategy a little bit. Am I the best at doing it? No. But will I be? Yes. But let's look through the comments a little bit. I just want to ask if you've been shitting your pants, because since I've known you, you've always been shitting yourself. Here, I want to go to newest. Let's not go to top. Let's go to newest so we know that they're a little bit more like just raw people's takes rather than it being like what people have liked. Step 1. Below the video is text that says IDubbbz TV. Ask an adult if you're struggling to read it. Step 2. There's a bell icon and with text next to it that says saying subscribe. Step 3. Click on that icon. Again, ask an adult if you're struggling. No shame. Step 4. Click the icon that says unsubscribe. Adults can help with this too. Step 5. You're done. You can go back to having a life. Amazing stuff. Not gonna lie, Ian was right on the money with this vid. I've directly observed pretty much all of the stuff from right-wing trolls. Replies will continue to prove this video's point until the heat death of the universe. Yes, you are right about right-wing trolls. But again, Ian is the one who made a content cop literally saying, you need to get help, Ethan. We just care about you. We want you to get help. This is so fucking, like, his brain is water. His brain is literally made of mush now. It is spilling out of his ears with every little shake. Like, I'm so confused. I am concerned. And I am trolling. But, hi, Ethan's enemy's husband. How are you? I don't think you rock is a singular word. I don't know what that meant. Buddy, you are delusional. Yeah, I will go back to the top comments. These ones are a little too... These ones are just talking about the comments. I don't understand why people comment stuff like this. What is bro yapping about? Here, we're going to scroll down quite a bit. Always has to make sure to include boxing stuff in background. We get it, Ian. You're a secure manlet. You're an insecure manlet. Sorry. I'm truly just concerned for you, Anissa's husband. Yeah, okay. Doing the Fortnite L dance with the people most directly responsible for generating harassment that led to former friends getting CPS called on them, and then getting these same people to say something nice about them so they stop crashing out, is the most textbook, over-the-top example of concern trolling I can think of. Literally. Quite literally. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just so incredible how how your brain can just look past the videos you made like a couple months ago. I can't tell if everyone in these comments are actually the most deplorable people I have ever seen, or if there's some grand, highly elaborate joke being played here. I genuinely do not understand in any sense what the problem is with what Ian is saying here, or has said and done in the past. You all sound like incels and people who are terribly afraid of any kind of communication. So how about you reply then to actual comments being made instead of just flooding the comment section with all of these comments being like, why are you guys upset? What is actually... That's literally fucking... Like, these people are fucking... Like, they're doing it. They're literally doing the concern trolling. They're literally doing the... Like, these are literally the most deplorable people ever. These are the most, like... Have you guys looked in a mirror? You guys are incels. This is insane. I genuinely just don't understand what the problem is. Like... Oh my god. The whole thing. Let's look at the top comments, like I was saying. We'll look at the top comments real quick and then we'll move on. I grew into such an empathetic young lesbian. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. This is not what podcasts are. Normie viewer, bro, 98% of your subscribers are from 5+ years ago. Good job unlocking ability, empathy Ian. Now please we'll work on unlocking ability, self-awareness. Is he crashing out or on drugs? This is concerning. And see, these are the best comments to fill. Like, this is the best thing to fill the comments with. Is he crashing out or on drugs? This is concerning. Is he on drugs? He needs to get his mental health checked. This was even shittier than the content copyright. Did you not say, hope you can do better in 20 different ways to Ian, or to Ethan? Literally. No trolling, I'm genuinely concerned. Like I'm saying, it was stupid for him to, in the beginning of the video, explain that some people are concerned even though there are concerned trolls, because that implies that there's genuine concern to be had, and you should at least help those individuals understand your perspective better rather than just lumping them all together as trolls. Like, it's just so fucking dumb. But yeah, let's move on to the content cop, IDubbbz. Content deputy, sorry.
They are a terrorist organization. Like, they're...
Wow, this edit's really good. Good job, buddy boy. Content deputy IDubbbz by Cameron F305. This came out 1 day ago. This came out like exactly when the concern trolling video came out. So we're gonna get a real good video here with Hassan, with muscly Hassan in the background.
They are a terrorist organization. Like, they are designated by the
Wake up.
What we do here is go back.
Oh wait, before we watch this here.
Fast track your
Alright,
career
I'll play this for a
path with
second.
short-term.
Actually, never mind. I was looking at a video on the other screen, but it wasn't what I thought it was. I thought it was a clip, but it was actually just a 6-minute video of someone talking. Gotta talk for longer than that, man. Come on. But yeah, we'll keep watching this for now. Sorry to stop it. We'll get back to it right now in a second. Just wait.
Who is this cute little lesbian, and how tight is her pussy? What's going on, guys? Didn't think we'd be doing this, but welcome to Content Deputy. Today we'll look at what Ian's been up to since my content cop released and his brilliant systematic dismantling of all criticism sent his way. Also his reaction to my video. I think a great way to start this video off is to give you guys a couple of updates. Now, let's get a little serious here. First of all, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I'm extremely humbled by all of the support my last video received. By the time this video is out, we'll have reached 40,000 subscribers, and all the support has just meant a lot. I'm gonna keep doing this. I appreciate y'all. On that note, the fundraiser attached to my last video not only surpassed $6,000 raised for cancer research, which is a whole lot more than Creator Clash 2 ever did, but it also surpassed the fundraiser attached to the Creator Clash 2 VOD that, Ian made to save face for, the lack of money going to charity. That's not only incredible, it's kind of hilarious. Since my content cop, Ian has been doing some sort of humiliation tour, and the first stop was Hassan Parker's house. Hassan was doing a charity stream reacting to Ethan's content nuke, and as I predicted, the funds went to the Creator Clash Tiltify. Now, I kid you not, after arriving late, Enisa's husband comes on Hassan's stream and...
I like Cameron. He uses the R word. He's got to go. Nah, he's like 20. He's got time. He's got time to realize. He's got time to grow empathy. You know what I mean? Give him a chance.
And sits in the cuck chair as they watch Ethan's video. Now, let's see if Ian responds to the criticism of the sketch that he made with Hassan with that swastika sword.
I'm Jewish!
This would be the perfect opportunity. Stick a sword.
The fact that he actually got the sword for the bit is kind of... I mean, what do you do with it after, though? Did you just sell it, or...
I'm Jewish!
This would be the perfect opportunity, so let's see what he's got.
I'm the one who thoughtlessly picked up the sword. We were grabbing a lot of props in Hassan's room, and there are a lot of props.
There's a lot of anti-Semitic props, and he just chose that anti-Semitic one as opposed to the other anti-Semitic ones. I'm gonna kick you out if you apologize for that, by the way, because that's ridiculous.
Oh, you can't. Hassan won't let him. What a fucking pathetic fucking loser, dude. Other than sitting there uncritically while Hassan screams and tries...
See, we're gonna go on a little bit of a tangent for a second. I see a lot of people using the R word more these days, too. Not gonna lie, I think everybody probably uses it in the car when they get angry. It's still just you're trying to work it out of your vernacular. But what I think needs to happen more is, I've been trying to say this, that people need to stop caring about individual words that are being said and start caring about the fact that we shouldn't be using any type of language to diminish people in general, because all that's going to happen is over time words change. Dumb and idiot and stupid. Dumb was, different, but stupid and idiot were both IQ terms, and eventually stopped being IQ terms because they were used as derogatory terms, and then kind of lightened up. Then they moved to words like retarded, and then since those words are now being used derogatorily, they've moved to words like neurodivergent. And there are people like Hassan who have actually used neurodivergent derogatorily, and it'll keep happening and keep continuing, and they'll just keep siphoning those words out. And so I feel like the main thing is about making sure that we just call people out for using trying to demean anybody at all, because you can point out the criticism, and it's something that it's something we all do. It's hard. It is hard. It's easy to call someone stupid. It's easy to call someone an idiot. And it's harder to actually contend with the criticisms that they're making, contend with the points that they have. And I feel like that's what we need to do more of and try and be better about. And obviously try our best to not use specific language that can be used not just to diminish an individual, but also diminishes the group as a whole. But that's my 2 cents on that. We will now move on. Oh my God.
To deflect all criticism from the content nuke. There really isn't much to criticize Ian here for, mainly because he barely fucking says a word.
This is why it's Orientalist. to literally look at these dudes.
Well, l'état in French, or however you pronounce it, I'm not good at French, but it means delay. Isn't the term like, I'm sorry, the R word, I'll just say that, but doesn't that mean slow? Isn't that like where the term comes from, is like delayed mental capacity? So I feel like it's probably the same thing.
And go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons. Don't laugh at his fucking...
During the stream, there were many times where Ian's face reeked of regret and being uncomfortable as he realizes that these new friends of his do not care about him whatsoever and have some questionable takes.
They have a shelf life because they don't have the same fucking stubborn nature that I do. They don't have the same interests as I do. They inevitably become their own worst enemies. They inevitably cook themselves. You might think you're riding high on the slop for a little bit. You might think you're getting showered with praise. An army of anonymous Redditors telling you you're brilliant. But at the end of the night, when you go home and you sit down and you look yourself in the mirror, you're not going to recognize who you've become. That's it. It's turning into a lolcow of a different variety. That's what I think.
That's so mean.
I gotta mention it again. One of my favorite parts about the stream is the unironic cuck chair. How do you do that to yourself? Like, you just can't beat the cuck allegations anymore, dude. Now, there's a good old saying that goes along the lines of, wherever there's a spineless cuck, there's a snake. And this snake goes by the name of Anissa.
I think that's a passage in the Bible. Can't remember what psalm that is. Maybe it's a proverb.
Jama. Now, in my previous video, I went really light on Anissa, and that's because not only was the video not about her, but I wanted to show that Ian is a malicious, spineless piece of shit, whether or not Anissa is involved. But since my video dropped, Anissa has been continuing to win the unlikability contest of the century. And can I just say, just looking at this couple and like the evolution.
Here's one thing that I will say though. When I said before that two individuals can be, you know, birds of a feather flock together, that whole thing. While that is true, hey, we got to treat couples as a whole, right? You got to be holding your partner accountable at the end of the day.
It's pretty scary how things degraded. Look at this happy, normal-looking couple. Is this a recession indicator? Like, how do you choose all the tattoos from a kid's sticker pack and think it looks good? One of my favorite insults I've heard is that you look like a skateboard. I think that's pretty funny. It's funny that the tattoos that Ian has kind of look like the sewer that he used to eat pickles in. Hey Ian and Anissa, I could tell you guys are pretty torn up about the whole tattoo thing, and I wanted to give you guys some options, because I understand that it's probably really hard for you guys to deal with all the hate you guys are getting with your tattoos, and you know, I feel pretty bad. So I'm going to give you guys some options on how you guys can cover up your tattoos, because I can tell it's really hurting deep down. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab your masking tape.
Nothing gives me the heebie-jeebies like Hassan looking into the camera without his glasses on. Yeah, talk about Velveteen Rabbit, am I right? Talk about the Velveteen Rabbit, am I right?
You're gonna want to get something that's right.
I need to bring this. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up again because I brought this up the last time I brought up the Velveteen Rabbit.
On your skin tone and just cover it up. If you put enough layers on, it really starts to cover it back to how you were. It's pretty perfect, isn't it? Great. Look, you can even do some ASMR while you do it. And then when you take it off, you can wax yourself a little bit. Oh, and the snake isn't the only one being the retard on Twitter. The cuck is too. In his content cop, Ian...
Steven Crowder, the Steven Crowder II, he was in the fucking Velveteen Rabbit. He was in the Velveteen Rabbit. So I'm wondering if this is the reason he brought it up. I was really wondering that. I was like, was he was he just bringing up a movie that he knew about? Because it's such like a weird reference to make.
Was trying to criticize Ethan for the lawsuits that he was filing against people.
You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. No, you have a ton of power, you have a ton of options, you have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich.
Someone's mad at the internet. But then he tried promoting Denim's GoFundMe, trying to sue Ethan, proclaiming that she promoted the Giardia claim, which is true, she did do that. She even tried...
Well, Soul, you're also from... don't mean to dox you. Aren't you from Argentina, though? Aren't you South American? So I feel like there's more... there's a pretty good amount of French influence down there, isn't there? Am I wrong about that? So I feel like that makes sense that you are more, you can kind of tune in with French.
Deleting evidence. After she got caught doing that, she refunded the GoFundMe and isn't gonna do anything now. No lawyer would help her with that. That would have absolutely been a frivolous lawsuit, Ian. So I don't know why you're promoting that one. Lesbians. Okay, so far Ian's humiliation tour isn't really addressing any criticism other than the sword. This isn't looking very promising. Where's this next stop? Oh, goodness. So Noah Samson, who has the personality of a dry sponge, has been doing a bunch of charity streams for Palestinian refugees, and that's cool and all. And on these streams, he's been having a variety of guests. Some of them were to be expected, and others were absolutely insane.
What do you think about what Ansar Allah are doing now, bombing the, stopping the airport?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about how I feel about the Houthis without the FBI arresting me, but I would say this.
That is an important note that Ethan hasn't sued anyone yet. I think that maybe him and Mudahar might have sent out their letter to Noah Samson, but from what Noah said, it doesn't sound like it got to him yet. So, but again, I don't know if that's true or not.
This motion and this motion and
I don't mean to be rude, but low key, Houthi Luffy is built like a Bitmoji.
This motion and this motion and
and he also had IDubbbz on.
I didn't even catch that he totally just did a hanging thing. What the fuck?
We're live, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry, I keep forgetting to mention that.
Listening to this is painful. These two people having a conversation.
Noah's hair isn't the problem. If you took it off and put it on somebody else, it'd be fine. It's everything underneath the hair.
Could put anyone to sleep in 5 minutes. Ian doesn't even care enough to know that Noah is streaming. This whole thing is a mess. Other than the multitude of dumb tangents these two go on and the multitude of times that Ian humiliates himself for no reason at all.
Although my hairline's kind of receding a little bit.
This stream is notable.
A little. I don't mean to laugh at him for that. Because, like, you know, it hits us all at some point. But just to... That shows his lack of self-awareness.
So, for no reason at all.
Although my hairline's kind of... receding a little bit.
This stream is notable because Ian actually addresses some of the criticisms that people, like myself, had thrown his way. And he even mentions yours truly. Hey, Anissa and husband. Hope you guys are having a great time watching. Let's see what Ian addresses in this high-energy, fast-paced interview with Noah Samson cosplaying as XXXTentacion.
I put my dick in my purse.
Some people are like, oh, this is way too, like, into politics. They thought the video, there's a lot of people who thought the video was too centered around Israel-Palestine. I was like, that's, in my mind, that's crazy because I felt like it was just the smallest touch of that.
The smallest touch? It's literally the premise! You open with it!
He is extremely sympathetic to the Israeli cause and what's happening to them. His wife's Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes the state of Israel.
You act like you didn't even write your own video.
You cut out all the ums and uhs and does and all the of Ian's original video, so you kind of didn't give us the full context there.
Well, that actually might be the case.
I also take ownership for the Tana. The Tana thing was my.
Oh, that was so long ago.
Was my idea. Was my stupid idea.
So he's deflecting the criticism of him putting his politics and his new shithead friends over a near decade-long friendship. Got it.
And then there were some people who said the exact opposite, and they were like, oh, this is just like, this is something that should have been addressed behind closed doors. Like, this is way, like, personal. This is your personal gripe or whatever that you're, you know, making public.
How is that the exact opposite? You had a ton of paths you could have taken. This wasn't a one way or the other type of situation. I could either keep friendship or be a political cunt. And the criticism that you're describing is totally valid. This should have been handled in private. You should have had no problem denouncing.
You know Ethan is winning because Ian's hairline is receding and Ethan's is in the middle of his forehead. Yeah, his is growing in. It's like slowly, he's going to end up looking like a munchie-chi.
people calling your close friends genocidal baby killers who are endangering their children. This should have been an extremely easy take to have.
I'm pretty satisfied with that because I feel like that's probably the sweet spot.
This is literally what Ethan's hair is going to start looking like if he's in any more conflicts. Am I wrong? This is what my dad used to say me and my brother's hair looks like. My hair's too short right now because my hair just grows up and out. It looks like one of those Russian hats.
You know, if people can say both of those things.
You're all of a sudden want to act like you haven't seen most of the criticism about you. Like, I think you know that there's a little bit more than that. And also, what the fuck makes that the sweet spot? How are you enjoying that position? Well, I can now rest and I can now nest now that the entire internet thinks I'm not a good friend and have political brain rot.
I don't know, there's some of that energy that I think people, like, recall from old IDubbbz videos, and they're like, you know, I want that old, unhinged IDubbbz energy, that kind of shit. And I kind of get what they're saying, and I think a lot of it is just generally having passion.
Hold on. This might be positive. Did he actually listen to one of my critiques?
Yeah, I think it's a process, but I think this was a big step for me.
Oh, never mind. False alarm. Okay.
You know, to say fucking enough's enough, because I think it's important. You know, I think there's a lot more people who should be fucking, at least with Ethan specifically, like drawing the line, being like, fuck no, like you're not gonna talk about me like that online.
Hold on. Isn't this exactly what Ethan did to Hassan and Denims and all these people trying to ruin his life? Like, didn't he draw the line when people were trying to call CPS on?
Well, literally, we could just take it back to the fucking, the first step, the initial point. Ethan, behind closed doors, behind the scenes. Sorry, using my my arm pad for my wrists so I don't get tired, but behind the scenes, unfollowed Frogan. Frogan went public and was like, this fucking Zionist piece of shit. I know that's not exactly what she said, but that's how it started, was with her coming out being like, why did he unfollow me? Oh, well, this must be Islamophobic. Whoa, this must be this. That was literally where it started. So, like, bro, come on.
On him and trying to ruin his life. I feel like that makes your entire video move.
And a Munchie pillow sounds dope. I have not seen like any Munchie stuff ever. Like only online.
Because
I need to go to the thrift store and just only look for Munchie stuff.
It's all also political. Everything's political. You have to acknowledge that element as well. I'm not gonna, you know.
No, not everything's political. If I say I shit in the woods for fun, that's not a political statement. That's me being goofy. This, my good friends, is what I like to call political brain rot. If you're seeing reptoids and Martians at every given turn of anything, and you can't just enjoy something for it to be entertainment, then you're delusional. Not everything's fucking political. Is me playing Minecraft a statement on the socioeconomic state of the world right now? You sound like Jaden Smith. You sound retarded.
Like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
You're fucking delusional, dude. And he's such a fucking idiot. Now, before we continue with this interview, I must remind you guys of a point I made about Noah in my last video. Noah's ultimate conclusion is that all of these creators back genocide because they criticize Hassan, which takes a lot of fucking hoops to draw that conclusion. And after watching this dog shit video, I completely understand why Ethan Klein and Mudahar want to sue. I won't get into my...
You guys called out the 69 viewers and they had to leave. How sad. Now we'll go back up.
my opinions on if they should or shouldn't sue, but let's just say I won't exactly feel sad if this scares the shit out of Noah Samson for years, fearing generational debt. You shouldn't feel confident to slander people. Now, Noah is no stranger to slandering people. For example, he called the commentary streamer Chud Logic a pedophile baselessly, and then...
Here will be my thing. I will say, I'll be a big enough man to say, I think that Ethan and Mudahar should sue Noah Samson, just so it isn't an empty threat when they said they were going to. Because if there actually is enough of a claim to get Noah Samson on small bits of you know, of defamation, even if it is the slightest bit. I think that it is necessary to show that this isn't the way that things can be handled online.
Then was later forced to apologize for it. And he's apparently still being sued by Ethan Klein and Mudahar for the slander that took place in his YouTubers Who Backed a Genocide video. And overall, outside of his orbit, he's just known for being an extremely malicious individual. So you could probably imagine my...
Ooh. Ian and Anissa's boxing coach calls in live. Shocking new details. H3 show number 154. Ooh, we could be in for something spicy today. This is definitely going to be something. Either it's going to be a really spicy episode, or this is just a thought, just a theory, just a fan theory. What are they just going to have someone fake call in pretending to be Ian and Anissa's coach? I don't think that they should do that at this point because there's too much riding on like a guest like this. But I do think that would be funny to just have be like, nah, Ian's a bitch, you can't throw a punch. I had to teach him how to throw a jab. I asked him for a hook and he started singing a song. Stuff like that.
Surprised when I saw this.
I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you saw the guy who made the content cop about you right after the H3 content cop was outed as a
that came
pedophile.
Across my feed.
Was outed as a child.
Cameron's a pedophile?
Made the content cop about you right after the H3 content cop was outed as a
that came
pedophile.
Across my feed.
That's like straight defamation if that isn't true.
Was outed as a child rapist.
I know looking like a baby doesn't make you a baby, but like, come on, this guy's a pedophile.
Oh no, you could have researched this first. You're the one who brought it up, dude. There's no plausible deniability here. The funny part about this is that he likely knows that he was mentioned in my video, meaning he probably saw the critiques I made of him slandering people. So
Thank you, Beppis, for sending the one Cap'n Quasar gifted membership. Thank you so much.
in response, he does the exact same thing to me. Now, I could go on and on about all these layers of irony, like how Noah and Hassan have no problem parroting these false allegations against me based on an out-of-context phone call, yet constantly deny actual rapes when it has to do with the conflict between Israel-Palestine when their side is the one at fault for them. Instead of that, let me do Noah a favor. Hey Noah, nice hair. Let me be very clear. I did not rape or sexually assault anyone. For context, this all goes back to a short fling I had over a year and a half ago with someone 2.5 years younger than me. After a falling out, she DM'd several people and falsely accused me of sexual assault without any proof.
I'm really open and honest about what I've done. I lied about you in private. I did. But I wasn't trying to imply that, like, you assaulted me.
Then, in an apparent attempt to fabricate evidence, she called me and started recording mid-conversation talking about a consensual hookup. She then suddenly shifted the topic to an awkward hug that we had, where I picked her up. This had made her uncomfortable because she had past trauma related to being picked up. Of course, while talking, she deliberately left out the context of the hug to make it sound like an awkward sexual encounter, essentially twisting two completely unrelated moments together to make it seem like I admitted to something that I never did. I didn't know.
Okay, I was about to say, play the clip, because you just explaining it, I mean, doesn't make you look the best. I would say just play it.
You didn't like being picked up. I put you down. It's not sexual.
I had like a...
I don't mean to come for him, but he definitely, I don't know if he's putting it on or if he is actually upset, but I picked you up. It was a hug. It wasn't sexual. It's in his voice. He's feeling it. Did he do something wrong?
Spurg freak out, and they're acting like I had a rational response.
Yeah, I didn't know that picking you up was going to trigger your PTSD. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that, and you said that, and we've talked about it, and I still feel awful about it.
Yeah, we talked. It's none of their fucking business.
It had nothing to do with sex. And after her little...
Wait, what?
That you didn't tell me that, and you said that, and we've talked about it, and I still feel awful about it.
Yeah, we talked. It's none of their fucking business.
It had nothing...
It's none of their fucking whose business.
Nothing to do with sex. And after her little self-admitted manic episode, she publicly expressed multiple times that I never sexually assaulted her. Have I ever sexually assaulted you, or hurt you, or raped you, or done anything nefarious to you?
No, but I bet I know.
That I know of. This is just like a weird interaction. So I feel bad for Cameron for having to expose this on his own channel. But, I mean, better you than somebody else, I guess.
Which subreddit is claiming those things?
That her allegations only came from a manic episode and tried to deflect everything else because of that. That pissed me off more than anything he said about me.
They did come from a manic episode. That was my words, not yours.
Exactly. You said it.
FYI, the accuser spoke to Hutch, and there's a lot to this story. A lot in what way?
Not me.
Because I have to say, none of this does explain the whole pedophile thing. So I will say this has to do with like sexual assault and stuff. Where does the pedophile angle come from this?
I confessed to you that I thought I might have BPD because of it. Like, I'm coming to these conclusions myself. You're not just pulling stuff out of your ass to make yourself look better. I'm the one who came to you and told you that.
I have long since distanced myself from this person, obviously. Not only were these accusations disproven over a year and a half ago, even the person who made the dog shit video resurfacing these allegations has stated publicly on multiple occasions that this girl is a pathological liar, that he doesn't think I sexually assaulted anyone, and doesn't think I'm some sort of predator.
I have never sexually assaulted anyone, which is true. I don't believe he did.
She said, apparently Cameron is studying audio engineering in college. She claims these audio clips aren't real. I'm confused by this. She was like 17 or something. True. He mentioned she was 2.5 years. Okay, I guess I missed that part. But he mentioned that she was 2.5 years younger. I've been saying this recently just because I think it's like this is my edgy joke for the moment. But it's like we can only get rid of the age of consent if we only allow about like a 2-year age gap between couples. So all these people that are like, remove the age of consent, sure, but only if we make the age gaps like 2 years, like 2 to 3 years probably. It was 16. Okay, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like 2 to 3 years, I feel like isn't crazy. 16 to 19 isn't pedo territory. And like, is it inappropriate? Yeah. Is that an inappropriate thing to do? Definitely. But is that pedophilia? Definitely not.
Has done that in the past.
The whole situation does seem weird. I will say that just a few clips of this doesn't really speak a whole lot. But then again, if she's saying these clips are fake, he's saying she's the one. God damn it, I did it again. He's saying she's the one who who recorded the text or recorded the call. And if she's the one who recorded the call, then like, where are the clips coming from? How could the clips be fake? Like, where is he getting these clips from if she's the one who recorded them? I know that, sorry, that took me a second to say because I was pulling up the video again, but...
It's proven over a year and a half ago. Even the person who made the dog shit video resurfacing these allegations has stated publicly on multiple occasions that this girl is a pathological liar, that he doesn't think I sexually assaulted.
Yeah, even from the stuff that Cameron's presented, I still don't know enough about it to really... I know enough to say he's not a pedophile, I guess. 16 and 19 isn't pedophilia, but was he inappropriate? Was he, did he act in a malicious way towards her? I don't know. The evidence that he presented, I don't know if is enough, especially if there is another testimony from Hutch, or not from Hutch, but given to Hutch by the actual girl, so.
Assaulted anyone, and doesn't think I'm some sort of predator.
I have never sexually assaulted anyone, which is true. I don't believe he did. She has done that in the past, and I would not instantly take her word for anything right? Which is why I don't think Cameron is some sexual predator, rapist, pedophile.
Noah, this information was public and available long before your stream. What you have done is textbook defamation, and you did it on a much larger platform, ignoring the publicly available facts. That's illegal. If you have any integrity as a content creator, which I don't think you do, you will make a public retraction and an apology. And while I would love for you to do that, I have a feeling you won't. Which means Ethan and I have a lot to talk about, given that I have legal options to explore.
Yes, I do this before every episode. If you're just tuning in, remember to like and subscribe, because I will be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I actually am going on a vacation, not next week, but the week after that, so don't subscribe if you're... Please subscribe, please do. Yeah, everything
or
except
if you
CNX
can't make
Thursday.
this right. Now, Noah, I will give you 14 days from the release of this video to issue a public retraction and apology. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just an honest apology for your slander now that you've seen the correct information. Now, if you don't do that, I have a plan B. Hello, Ethan Klein. If you're watching this or someone that you know is watching this, please direct them to this. Please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I am more than willing to join your case if Noah doesn't make things right. To close this little segment off, I'll parrot what I said in my original video. You shouldn't feel confident to slander people. You should feel scared.
She spoke for a few hours to Hutch. It's hard to summarize in a comment here. All I'm saying is reserve judgment until hearing her out. No, I'm not saying that like she's a liar. I'm not going to come forward. I'm not going to be the one to say that. But I will say that, like I was saying, if the claim is that he's a pedophile, that obviously isn't true. Was he a piece of shit? Maybe.
At what might happen to you if...
I don't think that these calls alone like absolve him of anything, but I guess it would also come from if they are completely fabricated or not, which is kind of an insane claim. I'd have to listen to them and really
you choose to
analyze
spread
them.
malicious libel against someone.
Didn't you make music for that anime game?
I guess I can make the poll now. I was waiting until we were a little closer, but I'll make the poll now.
Like 2.5 years younger than you? Did you give a girl a non-consensual hug, you fucking freak?
Hey, you keep that up and I'll make a video about you.
Yeah, I got a sort of little abridged description of it from Anissa.
Hey, Anissa.
No, it is what it is. I try to not give it too much attention, you know?
Yeah.
What the hell? How dare you both? Are you guys trying to sabotage my charity video? Ugh, disgraceful. How dare you attack charity? No need to give it attention, Ian. I'm sure you're fully aware of all the criticism I sent your way and are fully prepared to lampoon all my arguments if need be.
Yeah, sure.
But I think he's raising money on his video, so that's, you know, that's a good thing.
I put video. I put video and you guys voted for it. You guys didn't even put bad poll. Good job, guys. This was your fault. One sec, I'm redoing the poll because I put video instead of poll. It was a bad poll. I caught it myself.
For cancer or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good.
Well, I don't want your approval. You can shove your kudos up your jam, because I just made a 90-minute video criticizing you. And instead of acknowledging any of my criticism, you sit there uncritically while your retard friend slanders me. Why the fuck do you think I want any of your kudos after that? Oh, Ian, how times have changed since VidCon 2019. What a different time that was.
There are a lot of things to, like, mock him about, bring up, make him look stupid, all this sort of shit. Like, the fucking tattoos are insane.
I have no clue how Ian feels comfortable at all criticizing anyone's tattoos. It's gotta be some cry-bullying, you know, bullying based on his own insecurities, kind of like what he criticized Leafy for, but maybe he forgot all that. Maybe that was knocked right out of his head by Dr. fucking Mike or something. Fucking pathetic moron.
He's trying to do all of these, like, he's trying to appeal to, like, incels on the internet and shit.
What does your wife do, dude? She does fucking OnlyFans. Her job is to appeal to little incel gooners, dude.
I mean, make that money. The thing is I'm not going to be the one to, like, come down on OnlyFans or on anything. Before I was in a committed relationship, before I graduated high school, I thought, what will I be when I grow up? If I'm not in any type of relationship, I'll just go into porn. Easy out. But so I'm not going to blame anybody for the avenues that they wish to try and make money in. But what I will say is you are definitely profiting off of incels. That's just the truth.
Ethan criticizing you somehow appeals to incels because for most of your life you were a fucking incel and you didn't get your dick wet until you were 27. Yes, when you spend most of your life a fucking virgin, people are gonna make fun of you for it. Sure, it's childish or whatever, but it's gonna happen.
And I'm like, oh, like that's what the fight is? Like I didn't even realize we were at that level. So I don't know. I think I went in expecting something like a little bit more a gentleman's game. You know?
Yeah.
Buddy, this is fucking YouTube drama. This is a shit-flinging match. You act extremely arrogant. You're not running for fucking president. This is a YouTube drama. What the fuck did you expect? You act like you've never experienced YouTube drama before. You act like this is something new to you. Dude, you've been dealing with it for 7 years, and you were perpetuating it for most of that time. Stop putting yourself on a fucking pedestal, dude. It's so pathetic.
One last question. Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that. Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
It's just so dumb to say this, being like, it was funny, especially because it came from a website. So it wouldn't have been funny if they were just dug up, like, you know, just someone's fucking grave got dug up. That would have made it unfunny. But the fact that these real human skulls were still used as a prop in a prank, that's funny. Because they come from a website where people buy skulls. Okay.
That made it funny.
I was also thinking about this, because people are still saying that it was all fabricated, it was all... They're the ones who bought the skulls. People are still saying all this shit. And if you do believe that at this point, then you also believe that every single one of the crew members is subservient to Ethan and also goes along with this. Because Dan said that he's the one who called, like, and had the conversation with the people. They did, like, they're either all in on it or it really happened. And beyond that, like, I just don't get this whole point of, like, it's funny. It's funny because they're still desecrating a human corpse. You can buy and own human skeletons, but you cannot paint on them. You cannot, turn them into a chair. You cannot do things like that with them. Using them like for the means of a prank would be the desecration of a human corpse, and is absolutely disgusting and a horrific thing to do.
Yeah, just a death threat to a father, a family.
So he finally acknowledges the human skulls, and instead of disavowing this unprecedented harassment on YouTube, he makes a joke out of it because, I don't know, they just were...
If Ian is just ignorant of them being real skulls and just thinks that they're prop skulls, then I would say that the onus was on him to know if they were real skulls or not, regardless of knowing that they're from a website. I feel like maybe most people didn't know that. Did most people not know that you could buy skulls online? Like, let me know in chat if you guys knew that you could buy skulls online. Because I already knew that. There was a Beavis and Butthead episode where they talked about it, and I knew about that like way before that too, because of when there was a point where bodies were going missing and people were saying that they were thinking that they were going to certain websites. There was some article like years ago where I had first learned about it. But are there a lot of people that just didn't know that you could buy skeletons?
Fucking freshly chopped off heads? What the fuck even is this shit anymore, dude? This retarded, safe, edgy shit. Like, stop fucking pretending to be an empath while saying shit like that.
Was it a death threat?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no.
Was it a death threat? It absolutely was a death threat. Are you joking? How else would you interpret that? To me, that's someone saying, hey, these two human skulls, these are you two if you keep this shit up. Maybe that's just fucking me. I don't know what the hell you're supposed to interpret from that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fucking piece of shit. There isn't much else to say about this interview. It's just riddled with repeatedly bad arguments and not much informed to do with responding to critiques to Ian's content. Well, other than this.
I think the common defense from the other side would be something along the lines of like, don't use charity as a shield. But I think they completely missed the point that it's like, it's not a shield. It's just like hurt me as much as you want. You know, it's basically saying like, you do not have a case.
Stop the cap. A perfect segue into our next topic, Creator Clash. So as I mentioned earlier, shortly after my content cop, Anissa's husband made an appearance on Hassan's Piker. So as I mentioned earlier, Anissa's husband made an appearance on Hassan Piker's stream where Hassan was watching Ethan's content nuke while raising money for charity. So
if you just put up that image that the Houthi kid, where have the video of Hassan being like, he's not calling this person a Jewish, he's not calling them Jewish, he's saying that they're a Zionist, about like the person on the pike. Can we start calling him Hassan the Piker?
Sounds innocent enough. Until you realize that this charity is linked to Creator Clash's Tiltify. I was so close to calling it. The only
And that's why we don't send images of skulls, we don't send skeletons, we don't send things like that to people. If you want to get under someone's skin, send them images of animals having sex, because that isn't illegal, that's educational. They will not like that. Animals having sex, animals defecating, whatever, whatever piques your interest. But this is the way that we troll. This is the way that we prank people. Not by, like, odd, vague threats. Veiled threats.
Possible way this event is...
And before anyone calls me out, I'm pretty sure I stole that joke from, I think Eugene Merman told that joke. He said that he sent animals of or pictures of cows having sex to a landlord or something. And ever since I heard that, I was like, that's a fucking way to do it.
Saved is if Hassan uses a socialist grift money, but even then, no one's gonna fucking show up. But I was wrong when I said Hassan was gonna use the socialist grift money. Of course he wouldn't. He's the worst fucking socialist ever. So now anybody who goes to the Creator Clash 3 Tiltify, oh wow, it looks like they've raised a ton of money. Fuck no, it was Hassan's stream. Look at this. Like the overwhelming majority of this money is from Hassan's charity stream. By comparison, IDubbbz raised jack shit. Now, since Anissa and husband stepped down, much has taken place. 2 more fighters have dropped out, Freddie Wong and LA Beast, meaning the event has no main card fight and 2 other fighters without opponents. The event was delayed and moved from Tampa to LA, and fighters have continued to voice concerns, mainly blaming these issues on Ian and Anissa, rightfully so. While I still won't be supporting this event and still feel like you should donate directly to charity, or donate to me if you want to waste your money, by that I mean don't fucking support this sinking ship, I will give credit to the new owners for transparency, as it has caused Ian to face one of my critiques head on. Before I get directly into that, I'm going to clarify Creator Clash 3's business model, since the new owners have made it a lot more obvious and transparent. This year, the event is explicitly a for-profit event, and the only charity aspect is a separate Tiltify donation campaign. Kind of completely defeats the purpose of the event, but I digress. Please stop calling me gay. In the previous 2 events, any surplus of money from running the event went directly to charity after any expenses were paid. I had assumed the same thing was going to be happening this year, and the Tiltify was only just added as a shield in case things went wrong again, but I was incorrect. But you can't really call this a charity event anymore. And I do still think that giving a cut of that surplus money to charity would be better, but that doesn't matter. What does matter is that I was absolutely right about Ian and Anissa taking a profit thanks to these new owners showing the accounting. Ian then had to make some half-assed apology to Reddit for not being transparent enough. And all I can say to that is this: hey dumbass, we told you this last time, you still weren't transparent enough this time, and now you're getting criticized for it. Dipshit. Fucking read. Now I gotta say, and I can't blame the new owners for this, but this whole business model feels extremely scammy. Creator Clash was always advertised as a charity event. In Creator Clash 1, Ian got paid. We didn't know that. In Creator Clash 2, they didn't get paid because they lost money. But in Creator Clash 3, they were gonna take 34%, and none of the money made from the event went to charity. It's only this Tiltify. That feels pretty scammy, in my opinion. If it was more explicitly stated by Ian and Anissa like it has been by these new owners, maybe I wouldn't be feeling like this is some sort of fucking scam. It's extremely deceptive and misleading to your audience. Even when trying to escape criticism, the spineless cuck and the snake get shown for what they are yet again. Let's see how they feel now that the event is out of their hands.
I'm the happiest I've ever been. I know people are like,
Cope,
but I truly am genuinely the happiest I've ever been.
Let's see if if I can do this and, run the event as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
We did for a period, but
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's in better hands.
yeah, it's definitely in better hands. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's definitely in better hands. That's disingenuous. I don't think it's definitely in better hands.
You gotta love how Anissa is so unwilling to engage with her mistakes that she inadvertently attacks the new owners of the event by implying that they are incapable of handling the event. What a fucking dumb bitch. Before we go on to our final topic,
And how much you want to bet that if it falls through completely, they're gonna blame the new owners and the new, like they're gonna blame Ethan, and they're also gonna blame the new people running it, being like, Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor failed. See, we did so better. We did so much better. We actually did a gala.
Correct a part of my content cop where I misspoke. Funnily enough, it has absolutely nothing to do with Ian, though. There's been very few people to actually leave H3's crew. Only one is left on bad terms. Hell, Dan's been there for like 7 years, if not more. So, no actual crew members ever left on bad terms. That was a misspeak on my part. I was trying to refer to Ethan's old housekeeper who was suing him, but as of now, I don't think that's gone anywhere, so yeah, there's that. To wrap up this video, I'm gonna give Ian some clarity on something he really doesn't seem to understand. Ian, nobody really cares that you wanted to change up your content. Sure, for some of us that liked your old content, it was kind of a bummer. But the problem actually arose through your extreme overcorrection and making your entire public personality about not being your old self. You're very bad at responding to criticism, and not all of us get it right the first time. Sometimes you gotta mature and be more level-headed and let time pass and learn from your mistakes. You can make mistakes and grow from them. That's fine. But don't make that your entire fucking personality. And even if you don't resonate with it anymore, don't shit on people who enjoyed your old content. You come off as disingenuous and extremely fucking annoying. Now, I've made my own mistakes in the past, and I won't pretend to be some fucking moral peach, okay? I just want to entertain people. But I can confidently say that you've proven to be a malicious piece of shit with a wife who's an even bigger fucking snake. The way you backstabbed your friends, lied to the public about your charity event, and managed to mishandle every fucking thing that you touch over the past several years, while doing everything you can to suck up to people whose purity tests you immediately fail, is extremely
I mean, not just is there nothing wrong with admitting the event was in better hands, it would show that there was a reason in them letting it up, being like, yeah, we don't think we can handle it anymore, so we're having to give it up. Other than, like, if that's not the reason and you think that you would have done a better job, then why did you hand it off? Like, what was the point?
Fucking pathetic. And so, goodbye, Deputy Washburn. At one point in time, you would have been missed. Or maybe I'm just...
It's Deputy Joma, thank you very much.
Just fucking retarded. But that's gonna do it for today's content, Deputy. For those unaware, I have confirmed that I will be doing more of these content cops in the future. So leave all your suggestions of the people that you love to hate in the comments below. Also, be
it was
sure
right.
to follow me on Twitter and all the other shit, and I think I have a Discord or something. I don't know. I'll leave.
It was all right. You know, it's pretty good. I will say, he's definitely a Nicholas Diorio or Turkey Tom-esque creator. You know what I mean? Definitely a little more edgy. Now, I know I'm definitely not going to be able to get through all of this, but I will just watch probably the intro, and we'll watch the rest of it on Friday. But I am very interested in this, and this is Internal Affairs, IDubbbz. By Some Ordinary Gamers, also known as Mudatahar.
That is a bios of one of the biggest commentary channels, one of the biggest police officers on YouTube. Some of you may know him as IDubbbz. I know him as Ian. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? He's done a pretty good job back in the day of...
Was there more at the end? Did I miss something?
They are a terrorist organization.
Oh, he does do a little bit at the end. My bad. My bad. I'm cutting out the best part.
With the conclusion to the Grifter Saga. Enjoy.
Where's the Hassan content cop Cameron?
Oh.
Where's the Hassan Piker content comp?
I want to see Hassan Piker, bro. See the Hassan Piker. Come on, where's the content cop at, bro? Where's the video on Hassan Abi, bro? Where's the Hassan Piker, bro? Come on, show us the content cop on Hassan Abi. He's a weirdo. And I want a content cop on Hassan Abi. He's a weirdo. He's a freak. He's a racist. No. Come on, I want a video.
It's coming.
Yo.
So yes, this is Mudatahar, Some Ordinary Gamers, new friend of the H3 podcast, Internal Affairs, IDubbbz. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Real.
Yo, what up? That is a bios of one of the biggest commentary channels, one of the biggest police officers on YouTube. Some of you may know him as IDubbbz. I know him as Ian. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? He's done a pretty good job back in the day of going after some of the most problematic creators on YouTube. People like Leafy is here, Keemstar, Tanamongjo, and most importantly, that React channel Epidemic. But in amongst all of that, he did things like Kickstarter craps. He looked at shitty projects people made. He went above and beyond the Call of Duty when it came to being a police officer. He even did bad unboxings. Now, he was at a time one of the best police officers, and I would say recently his conduct has been a little bit unbecoming, which is entirely what Internal Affairs is all about. We're here to check in on what's been going on with Officer IDubbbz. Now, since Ian has actually left...
Throwing the jacket over his his zip up hoodie is pretty good.
The police force, he has decided to mature. Instead of fusing two slurs together, he's making interesting documentaries. He's over-explaining his support of OnlyFans. And of course, one of my personal favorites is, as an officer of the force, discovering empathy at the ripe, young, tender age of 31.
I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability.
They started? Is that why you said it's happening? ACAB, to be honest, real. When you said it's happening, I was like, what?
Empathy. I just can't help myself.
Ooh, Harley better be here today. We better be getting our fucking goss talk that we were promised. This wasn't just some. Oh my god, Ethan, I'm coming for you. This will become a snark channel. You hear me?
But feel for other people's pain and suffering.
IDubbbz, safe to say, doesn't actually have the same rapport with the former community, the commentary community, and has for the last few years been ingratiating himself towards a new, more politically charged community. But the department actually is more interested with some of the charitable works that Mr. Jama has actually decided to side with, notably Creator Clash. Now, charity to me is a personally important thing. I think it's great to give back money to impoverished communities, medical causes that desperately...
It's happening for this Hassan content cop. Yes, please, we need it. We honestly need it. But I don't know what else he could say beyond what Ethan has said. And Ethan's making a new video too, so he better get his out soon.
Need progress, and of course to just help the fellow man. Charity is a way for all of us, no matter what our financial situation is in life, to help channel something in a positive sense. Charity is important in making progress, raising awareness, and most importantly, serving as the best criticism shield to any vanity project ever. Like Creator Clash 2, for instance, where having trauma processing parties with full entertainment, open bars, hotels completely rented out to influencers, all on the dime of people who donated, thinking that the lion's share of that money would go towards the causes that get listed at all these events. Only to find out that these charitable events didn't actually donate any money to charity, at least when it came to Creator Clash 2.
What the hell are we going to do? I can't even think about doing a Creator Clash 3. We lost money and there's no money for charity. So what are we going to do to solve that?
Now, I've covered plenty of charities in the past, supported by influencers who had a pretty clear, clean image that turned out to either be crypto scams or, at worst, money stockpiles that remained losing value until...
To be fair, Mutahar, you did do a bad job at reporting on the FUPA fund back in the day. And you did end up taking that video down because Ethan proved you wrong in your internal, your internal affair research of the FUPA fund. So just saying, we have to take everything for what it is. With grams of salt, whole pounds of salt included.
One of my investigations contributed to hundreds of thousands of dollars finally heading to where it was supposed to be headed years down the road. Now, I personally feel, though, Creator Clash may not only be one of the worst tragedies in charitable fundraising by content creators, but also one that turned into something malicious down the road the more and more that it progressed. So let's get started. IDubbbz, also known as Ian Jama, the husband of Anissa Jama, both these people were the initial faces of Creator Clash, alongside a Mike Lenardi, a co-organizer, and it started out pretty positively. Like, the first event came around May 14, 2022, hosted by Ian, his wife. Event was managed by Ego Raptor, or Aaron Hansen's company, Real Good Touring, who also actually fought in 2 of these events. Now, Creator Clash wanted a pretty healthy set of fighters. Big channels like Dr. Mike, Ian himself was fighting, Michael Reeves, fan favorites like Dad would show up delivering pretty interesting fights. The community as a whole on the internet rallied behind it, and by all metrics, I would say it was a pretty successful event. It was hosted in the Youngling Center in Tampa, Florida, and CC1 sold over 100,000 pay-per-view buys, and tons of influencers and their fans showed up. And from what I understand, that arena they rented was actually sold out, which is, again, amazing. From a charity perspective, the American Heart Association, the Alzheimer's Association, and the Healing Horse Therapy Center received all the net profits, according to a press release, to the tune of a combined $1.3 million. Now, it's also worth pointing out that the Healing Horse charity actually did belong to Aaron's mother. Now, that by itself isn't a major issue, but generally speaking, I don't like it personally when one of the people involved in the entire organization of the event is actually...
Okay, that actually is kind of a... A little wrench in it to start. Okay.
Actually related to somebody receiving any disbursement of funds. I feel conflicts like that shouldn't ever be possible in the first place. But again, to go back to the event, IDubbbz even had to say that when it came to the event, these creators want to show respect to boxing while putting on an entertaining show that reflects their personalities, said IDubbbz. It was really important to us that creators took this experience seriously, and let me tell you, they absolutely have. They've been training for months, and we can't wait to show you what they can bring to the table. Influencer boxing has previously been very money-driven, and our goal is to bring attention back to the sport while delivering fun and interesting personalities for an all-around great show for some great causes. Now that sounds like a great PR answer, but this clip that I found on the H3 podcast I think really kind of shines a different light into why I think Ian and Anissa actually cared about doing this event. And it doesn't sound as altruistic as one would expect. I really do feel that for both of these people, it almost was a way for them to ingratiate themselves with the community, to basically have a yearly event that would bring influencers together and effectively keep them almost perma-relevant down the road, right?
If it works out, then we can do that, and there could always be a charity aspect to it. But I think the main goal is just to get the people paid who are involved in making it happen, rather than like making exorbitant amounts of money.
So your goal is to build an institution of sorts, this creator clash, where you can have
it's fun.
There's a champion every year.
Yeah, it's a party.
It's like a way more exciting VidCon, or like I want it to be like influencers can like care about this and fans can care about this and like watch it and have like a build up, like maybe parties before and like.
I do have to say, I think that it's dumb that they cared about it being a boxing event too, because it seems that they did just want to make it their own TanaCon, basically, their own IDubbbz con, where creators would come in, but they had to like make it about something. They had to have like some kind of, grounding, and they thought boxing was the best way to do that. And I just genuinely think that was kind of where they failed, because it started off as like a troll, right? Because Rice Gum was like, I want to box you, and then IDubbbz was finally like, you know what, Rice Gum, I am gonna box you, come box me. And Rice Gum went, no, that was years ago, what the fuck are you talking about? And then IDubbbz continued to do Creator Clash 1, 2, and is trying to do 3, but has stepped back. So yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, because we've gone to like the last Jake Paul event, and it was crazy the amount of influencers that were there. Excited to see it. They weren't all my cup of tea.
Sure.
But it was exciting. Everyone wanted to be there. It was fun, and I think if we can harness some of that, but have it be even more exciting, because all of our fighters are mystery fights. You don't know how it's going to go, and then you have this charity element. It's just like a win all around.
So in the future, maybe there'll be more profits potentially for you guys.
Potentially, but we're not looking at that really.
Now, one thing that we love to do here at the Internal Affairs. Now, one thing we love to do as Internal Affairs is look through documentation. So we decided to go to ProPublica, go through their nonprofit explorer, and we actually did find the Healing Horse Therapy Center right here. It's actually a 501c charity, and if you want to know a rough idea of how much they kind of receive from Creator Clash, well, we can open up some of their filings and look at them really closely. So for instance, in 2022, when Creator Clash was a thing, you can actually open up the 990 filing over here, and if you scroll all the way to the contributions and grants, the prior year they actually received somewhere around $3,958, as opposed to the year of Creator Clash 1, they actually ended up receiving over $250,000. Now, the thing is, when you pull up the 990 filings over here, if we go to just 2014, one of the interesting things that come out of this is you can kind of get a rough idea of how much Creator Clash actually did contribute. Now, at this point, you can see in 2020, the actual charity gets $87,000, probably from a different event. And of course, in 2021, the charity ends up getting $3,958. Then, of course, when Creator Clash 1 happened, you can see that they actually got a massive spike. They went down, eventually to the point receiving like, what, $75 in just 1 year when it came from public support. Now, the thing about all this is going back to the 2020 filings, the 2022 filings, I actually couldn't find any mention of Creator Clash as a company, which I think kind of sucks because it shows me that these forms are probably not filled out well at all, if anything, which, I don't know, the more I look into a lot of these charities, the more I realize that the paperwork could be a lot better. But you know what? The reason why we looked into this was also just to see that there was money being sent out. And of course, when I looked further into these actual charities, at least with Aaron's mom's charity,
They posted the Going Live post? Let me see. Oh, they did. Going live. The H3 show is now going live. Shop, shop.
didn't seem like they were paying themselves what appeared to be exorbitant salaries. They just took money in and they spent it on obviously dealing with horse.
Let's hope 10 minutes. Oh my god. They might try. They could try.
therapy stuff. So again, it seems pretty much on the up and up. Money was actually given. And the only reason I checked this was because when we go down the road, it's going to be really hard to believe what Ian and Anissa and really a lot of people associated with the event actually say. There's a lot of conflicting information. And as an officer, I don't like to look at conflicting information, okay? Because there's a fuck ton of stupid people in the room, and I try not to be one of them, okay? I make mistakes, but I try to look at the data as much as I can. So anyways, to go down over here, the first event was actually successful. Charities got money, and all in all, it was actually a pretty serious win for Ian and Anissa in terms of it just being a good overall event. I mean, I didn't have any issues with it. One would think if this is how good the first event was, theoretically, Creator Clash 2 should absolutely be a success. Until, of course, it isn't. Now, Creator Clash 2 was announced January 24, 2023, and it was poised to happen at a bigger venue this time, Amalie Arena, and once again in the city of Tampa, Florida. So IDubbbz once again was set to fight this time with Alex Wasabi. Harley would join, and he would fight an actual heavyweight, John Morrison, and Dad would fight AB from the H3 podcast. So one of the fights was set to be against Tyler Cassidy, also known as Froggy Fresh, of the Krispy Kreme fame. He made a bunch of songs on the internet. Guy's an old school OG YouTube legend. Now, Froggy was supposed to be fighting Chris Raygun, and I want you to remember this fight because the controversy surrounding it might have been some of the most promotion this fight was getting for a while, and all of it was effectively for the wrong reasons. Now, something about fighting promotion and the community that watches these events is that it always centers around some form of drama or conflict, okay? A lot of the biggest...
I did not hear about Love eating raw bacon. Let me see if I can find that real quick, and we'll save the rest of this video for Friday. Love eating raw bacon. Was it just on his YouTube channel? Like on his live? I guess let me... Young Fika. Young Fika.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Hidden Valley Ranch. Where was him eating raw bacon? Okay, I found it. I found the clip on Reddit. Come on, love. Come on, Luva.
One sec. I only have $2, love. Love you and address the bacon. Oh my god, not the bacon. Oh no, not the bacon. Guys, please, I don't want to talk about the bacon controversy.
Just resubscribed for 9 months. My stream baby is due.
Oh, it's in his stream?
Okay, so, guys, regarding... Okay, I see all of you guys like...
Here we go.
Should I add some bacon, chat?
Here we go.
Chat, I actually have some, a little bit of, like, thick bacon here.
You would rather eat 2 denim jorts, no water, than eat bacon? You'd rather eat denims? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Maybe I should just throw in a couple pieces. Thoughts? I'm gonna flip...
He just throws in the raw bacon?
This pan, and I'm gonna
cut
down some thick bacon here. I'm gonna use a new knife. I'm just gonna do a couple, like it's already sliced. I'm just gonna dice it real quick and throw a couple pieces in.
No, yeah, and that's the biggest problem with Creator Clash is nobody knew about anything until there started being controversies about Creator Clash. Nobody cared about it until the whole stuff with Ethan or with Sam Hyde and all of this different shit. It's like, that was what actually brought any attention to it because they didn't want to promote it in any actual way.
It's already smoked. It's super smoked bacon, so it's gonna add a nice little smoky texture to it. It's just a little bit. Look how thick this bacon is. It's so freaking delicious. Not gonna cook in time. It's already smoked. No, I love bacon. The bacon, the reason it's bacon is because it's already cooked. Now cook it first. I'm gonna throw it in, guys. I know you guys will get a little bit.
What it does is infuse the bacon with a rich, smoky flavor. It's still considered raw bacon at this point, though, meaning it's still considered raw bacon at this point, though, meaning it could be cooked further prior to consumption, or it must be cooked further prior to consumption. Smoked meats is smoked at much higher temperatures ranging from under... Yeah, it's so raw.
Triggered here.
I was like, what is he talking about?
I did it, guys.
No, you're so right. You can't have vaulted ceilings and not have stuff on your walls. He needs to get some art pieces. He's got the skateboards over here. He maybe should have... I think he focused too much on putting stuff in the kitchen. He needs more stuff in his living room.
It's gonna cook in here, bro. Cook it separate? Hell no, bro. It's gonna cook in here, guys. We're all chilling. We're gonna help it spin around a little bit here. Bro, that actually is cleaning up. You're wrong. Guys, it's gonna cook. Trust me. It's gonna cook. Not American bacon. Let's read. Let's fact check. Let's read together, guys.
Oh.
It doesn't say anything on.
Sorry, one sec. I'm getting a call from my mom. This could be important. I'm going to have to call it here. I'm very sorry. Go watch the H3 podcast when it starts. But yeah, I just got some news and I'm going to have to go. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later. This is Captain Quasar signing off.